it's Robin from svgcoop.com, and I am here today to show you how to use the SVG files to make a stage pop-up. And the stage pop-up is this centerpiece right here, which I'm going to give you the file to make. The cutouts on top are just stickers that I fussy cut and I added. But we're basically going to make this centerpiece and stick it on a basic card, and hopefully you can turn it into all kinds of other fun things, and we will come out with hopefully some additions to making it a little bit more advanced. But right now our first video is going to be making the stage and getting it into our card. Alright, get ready, we're going to go. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to get our file uploaded into our Cricut or Silhouette machine if that's what you have. I'm just going to upload mine, and I'm going to close this down. And the first thing I'm going to do is just ungroup everything. And then I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to twirl down here. And what I want to do is I'm going to select the four lines here, and I'm going to change those to score lines, and then I'm going to actually, let me just ungroup this first. Alright, and now that these are score lines, I'm going to group those together, and I'll explain why after. So we're going to do the same thing with this one, and I'm going to ungroup this. Select these four lines, change them to score, and then I'm going to group those together. And okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to decide how many pieces we want to come out of our pop-up. So that's what these little things are for. These are little holes that we're going to put in the files, and then these are going to be our tabs that will hold the pieces. So what I want to do actually is I'm just going to take these, I'm going to duplicate them, and then I want to have a set that is yellow. And I think in the first piece I'm going to, without changing the size of it, let me zoom in, because sometimes it's a little bit hard to grab these pieces when they're so small. Okay, so I'm going to take one of the black ones, and I'm going to put one here, and one over here, and I'm going to put one on this piece here, and it's in the back, so what I'm going to do is bring it to front. I'm going to actually highlight all of these and arrange bring to front. Okay, so I'm going to put this one, I don't know, say here. Then what you want to do is take a yellow, and you want to put it right over the black ones that you just placed. And we're going to let's see, so what I want to do is I want to select the yellow and the, oops, how'd that do it? So what I want to do is select the yellow piece and shift select the dark pink. Let's see, let's ungroup this again. Let's see, we want to ungroup this again. Okay, so yellow, pink. Why is that still grouping? Okay, so we're going to select the yellow and the pink piece. We don't have the dark pink, so let's see what's happening here. Okay, so we're going to select the yellow. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to select all of this, arrange, bring to front. So everything is going to be hopefully on the top here. Okay. Now I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select the dark pink and go down to combine and subtract. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this yellow, and I'm going to go to combine and subtract. And then I'm going to take this pink piece and just kind of drag it out of the way, and you can see now there's two holes there. So now I'm going to take this one and shift click this pink piece. I just want to make sure I'm only getting the pink piece here. So let's see. I don't want the whole group. I just want this one and this. So I'm going to shift click this piece, and we're going to do combine, subtract. We're going to do object arrange, send to back. Okay. And then we're going to do it again. We're going to select this other piece and shift select our pink piece. And we're going to subtract. And we're going to send it back to the back again. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this this pink piece out of the way. And now that we have our score lines and our base piece, what we want to do is attach those so that when we cut this, those lines will be attached. So you have to make sure that these things don't move. And now we can just kind of place these back where they go. Don't worry about it being perfect because it's just to get it out of the way. Alright, so we need to do the same for this piece over here. So I'm going to click on this and go arrange, bring to front. Oop. Let's actually select everything. Bring that all to the front. Okay, now I'm going to select this yellow piece and shift click the purple piece, well, dark pink. And again, we're going to subtract, and we can move it out of the way. And then I'm going to shift click it again and subtract and arrange, send to back. And again, we'll get this piece out of the way. And what we want to do is select our score lines. Shift select the pink and attach. Okay, that was the hard part. That's really just basically figuring out how many cuts you want to have in your piece, that kind of thing. So now we can delete these. Alright, so the tabs, I gave you 4 tabs just to see, but the easiest thing to do is to fix one and just delete the other 3. So I'm going to delete those. And we're going to go to this one. We're going to shift select the 2 lines and change those to score. And then we're going to shift select the pink and we're going to attach it. And we're going to do the same thing, oops, the same thing for this piece. So I'm going to twirl down. I'm going to shift select the 3 score lines, change them to score, and shift select the pink piece and attach. And the last one, same thing, I'm going to shift select the score lines, change it to score, select the pink. Oop. I don't know why my mouse keeps playing with me today. Okay, select that and attach. Alright, so now what we want to do is I just want you to understand what the pieces are. So the dark pink pieces are your decorative pieces. The light pink is your base. And then you also are going to have, let me just zoom this back out. These pieces over here are decorative pieces as well, so they're going to fit in these little rectangles here. So now we are ready to make our pieces, and we'll be back with the pieces cut and show you how to assemble it. Okay, so now that we have all the pieces cut out, I'm going to show you how to assemble them, and I just tried to kind of put this so you could see what it looks like relative to the file. I did not cut the other dark pink pieces that would have gone here because that is for if we're going to make the pop-up removable, which in this case we're not, and later on I will show you how to do that as well. So what we're going to do is you're going to have your pieces and they have score lines on them, so I'm just going to fold these on all of their score lines. And I'm just folding each one down, mountain style, if you will. And I'm going to fold this piece. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is that if you don't have the score tool for your cutting machine, you can just score where the changes in the corners are. So it would be really easy to just take a score tool, like where this corner hits, where this corner hits, this corner, and you're just going straight across. So if you do not have a score tool, that's okay. I did want to show you this piece. So I think that these are, yeah. So this is 6.5 inches. So you can score on the 2-inch marks and then leave your tab at the end. So if you don't have a way to score it on your machine, that's how you can do it. So I'm just going to fold this piece also on the score lines. So again, it would be scoring on the 2-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch, and then leaving your tab. So let's get this folded. All right. Just as for helping you to see, I did put a little black on the little tabs that are on these pieces. I did cut out 4 instead of just the 3, so that I could put one in the middle. So I'm just going to fold this on the score line, and these you want to be careful with because they're a little delicate. So, and I'm using kind of thick paper with mine, so you probably want to try to use like a thicker, like a nice cardstock, because it is going to be holding up a piece inside your pop-up. So I'm just going to get that folded, and there's a score line for the little tab too, so you can just fold that back. This last one done. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and this little tab is going to, if you're holding it this way, you're going to tuck this under, and then this is going to sit on top, or you can have it sit underneath like this. So I think that's what I'm going to do, so you can't really see it. So I'm going to just get some glue. And I'm just going to glue that on top, and you can line up the corners so you'll know exactly where it goes. Just hold that down for a second. And I'm going to do the same for the other piece. Some glue here. And you want to get that as lined up as well as you can. Okay, so now when our pop-up is sitting inside of our card, we want the holes to be on top, and our card is going to open so that when this is going to basically fold down, we can just kind of flatten that too to make sure everything is nice. But basically it's going to flatten down like this. So before I go ahead and glue these two pieces together, I think what I'm going to do, let's see, do I want to do that? Yeah. We're going to take the little tabs like this. We're going to put some glue in here, and we're just going to glue these together. They're doubled so that they're a little bit stronger. That's why you're making these with the fold and not just a single piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to kind of glue that down so that stays together. I'm going to do the same for the rest of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if this is my layout, I've got a piece I'm going to put here, one here, and one here. I probably, if I'm going to stick one in the middle, I'm going to put it maybe a little bit over to the side like that. So basically what's going to happen is these are going to go in like this. I just want you to be able to kind of see how that would look. So ultimately, I would have 4 things popping out of my pop-up. So let's just move these for a minute because we have to glue those in when we're ready. So this one, I'm just going to put some glue on here. And I'm just going to stick this underneath here and just give that a little press there. You can put these wherever you want. You can put the little holes wherever you want. You can put as many as you want or as few. It's totally up to you. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on this side panel. You want to make sure you get to the edges. And we're going to press these two together like that. Make sure they're nice and even, and just going to give them a squeeze inside. And I'm just going to press that down and really get that to stick well. Right? I don't know if any extra glue that I might be having. And I will say, in this case, I used my die cuts with a View cardstock, which probably is not the best cardstock because it's splitting here. So I would definitely use, actually the Reflections cardstock is really good. I'm sure there's other cardstocks that are not white filled like this that would work better, but yeah, so this one is not, it's not making me totally happy, but this is for a sample, so we're fine. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue. We have this little tab, and we're going to put some glue underneath the black part here, right here. And we're just going to stick it into the hole. I'll show you from the side. Stick it into the hole. And then you just want to try and make it as straight as possible, and then just hold it down and squeeze it in there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And there. Try and stand it up as straight as possible and just hold that down for a second. And then the last one. set that aside for a minute. All right, so now for these pieces, what we want to do is, I guess the first thing you can do is we want them lined up where it's going to go, the tabs are facing the same direction. And I'm just going to put my decorative pieces on now because it's easier while it's flat. You do get a little edge around it, so you can center it based on those little edges. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually put our glue our little tabs here together. So I'm going to glue this tab first. In here, like this. And you want to be just a little bit to the, you want to make sure that the score line is not being blocked. So you want to put it just a little to the left of the score line. Okay, that. Okay, and then this is going to go around our piece here, but what we want to do is have some of it glued to this edge and to this edge. So I'm going to take the piece where the tab is here, and that is where I'm going to put my glue. Actually, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put my glue in here. And I'm just going to lay that piece on there. Get that glue. And actually, if you want to, you can flatten it so you can give it a good press. Okay. And then we're just going to wrap it around like this. And we're going to want glue on this side and on our tab. So I'm actually going to put the glue here and the top of our tab at the same time. Get that glued down like that, and we're going to get our tab at the same time. I'm just going to hold those for a second. I'm going to push that through. I'm going to push the part of the box through and just flatten that so I can give that a good rub here. So I'm just going to show you that again. So it starts out like this. You're just going to push the base down inside. And that's how we're going to just give that a good push. Okay, now we kind of have our stage here, so I'm just going to put some glue on our decorative top here. Just get our two little pieces in there, and then we can line that up and get that glued down. And do the same with this piece. And get that glued in there like that. And I'm just going to stuff this down again, and I'm just going to give that another good rub. Okay, so there we go. That's our box, and essentially you can stick anything to this that you want to. I'm just going to show you my card again for 1 second. Okay, so I got a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. You can score this in half, or I'm just going to, in this case, fold it in half because, again, this is just a sample, so I'm not actually using this card. But you want to make sure you give it a good rub, and obviously you can decorate it and all of that good stuff, which I'll show you my card when we're done. But what we want to do is your stage is going to sit, the corners here are going to line up with the, let's see if I can draw this out here for you actually. Just so you can see this a little bit better. Just going to draw a line here right along the edge. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So these corners are going to line up with that corner. So again, when you're holding it, hold it from the edge and just push your stage down like that. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to, you can center it. You can put it over a little bit if you want to, but I'm going to center this one basically. And what we want to do is get that, we're going to fold it and push it as far into the corner as we can. Try not to let it move. And we're going to glue this part here. You want to make sure you only get, I'll just show you. We don't want to get this under piece. We only want to get this top piece here. Okay? And you're just going to put some glue along the whole thing here. And make sure you add enough because it's a heavy pop-up. So I'm sorry, I guess my recording stopped without me realizing it while I was in the middle of showing you how to get the stage installed. So what happened was we had glued one side, the piece, the sort of this triangle piece on one side, and closed it and we folded it. What you want to do then is fold everything over, pull back your card while holding your piece, and put glue in the same place as you did on the first side. Press it down and give it a good rub, and then when you open it, your base is going to open like this. So I'm so sorry if that's confusing to anybody. I didn't realize my camera turned off, but basically you're gluing the exact same piece on the other side. So when you put it down, this is still tucking in, and you'll hold it, and like I said, glue that area, give it a good rub, and then your stage will pop up. And generally, when you're going to look at it, if somebody opens their card, they'll probably open it this way. Alright, so sorry about that. Thanks for watching.